Hello everyone, it's Jack from Visual Effects. So today we're going to be looking at the difference between RAW and a normal codec for green screening. So there's a big difference, and let's just jump in straight away. So we'll create a comp, work in 4K. I'll do the red first, 30 seconds. So we'll start with the red footage first, and we will drop on our clip. Scale it down. Pick our starting point. First things first, we may as well just mask because not much of the frame is actually green. Probably just pull this over a little bit. And we'll jump into lumetri first. Right, so what we need to do now is we just need to import a LUT using lumetri. So we're going to tweak a few settings. So we're just going to jump into our RAW settings. We're going to raise the ISO to 800. We're going to use a denoise. This is crucial for green screen. And that could be it for now. Any other tweaks we'll do in lumetri. So once we've got the colour to where we want it to be, I'll knock it up and expose it just a little, and maybe add 25% contrast. So once we've got our LUT on and we're ready to start keying, let's start chucking on key light. So we'll throw the one on with advanced spill suppressor for now. Just close that off and turn this off, and also find refine soft matte. Drop that on as well. So we want to make sure this is intermediate result. Pick a green, and then we'll start keying. So what we need to do is we need to preserve as much of this hair for as long as possible. So we'll just change this to screen matte. Start clipping the black. That seems too severe, we need to pick another green really. So if we just go to screen matte and push that down, there we go, and then pull the white back. Again, just by picking what we can see on the red footages, we'll have little dots. Because there's so much more detail, we'll be down to pixels rather than actual like chunks. Because with codecs, you'll notice that this pattern looks different when we get rid of it. So that's not the best, but let's see what happens when we use a slight softener of 2. We'll pre-blur the screen by 2. And we'll probably leave it there for now. So we'll go back to our intermediate result. So you can see that's quite choppy and blocky and disgusting. So we just need to, let's try refine soft matte first. So if we put that on, do we get our hair back? Enough, probably. Let's have a look what we can do. So if we just make this 25, we'll get a few more. There we go. So we've got lovely hair detail kept there, and we can see transparency as well on the edge. So that is quite nice. It's really good, sharp key. We can even refine it even more. We'll need to actually. So that would pass for me. So let's jump into a Sony FS7. So it's not one of the newer cinema lines, but it does give an example of what it looks like with a codec versus RAW. So if we just drop this into here, and we call this FS7. So we need to get our colour back. Definitely not as nice looking as the red. First we need to throw on our key light. Workflow should be faster with this camera, although sometimes it's advisable to export a ProRes first, so re-encode the video to make sure it's going to play nice in After Effects. And this is just straight at the camera just for this test, but we do recommend changing it to ProRes for green screen. You will notice a world of improvement in terms of speed. So now we'll drop on the key light again. We'll close our lumetri. We will pick a green. And we will change it to screen matte so we can see what on earth we're doing. So this is where it gets funky. So when I was talking about the noise pattern of the other one being more like dots and pixels, this is why green screening works generally better on RAW. So because we're pulling down this mush of compression data. So this is it side by side. So you can see that it's definitely more blocky with this codec. So now if we just see what we've done, we do start to see some gross blocky chunks taken out of hairs. So what we need to do is push this as far as we can, soften it again, do a screen pre-blur, which will help this camera a lot more than it will the other one. This hair might come back, we'll see. And then we just want to find that refined to see what we can pull back. So we definitely lost that hair. And 5 on that too. So 25 on the additional edge radius and 5 on the feather for now. That's too severe. Might need to shift the edge, add some contrast to get this looking sharper. Can we push that more? And it starts to do a little dance. So we have got this hair back a bit, but because we're talking in blocks instead of like pixels, we're not going to have as much detail to get this hair back. It's a shame it's not a like for like comparison. But we can see there that there's so much more hair detail in the red. It's just one solid line with this codec. So if we just add our advanced spill suppressor, that should get rid of the green on the edge, which it has. So it's still a really good key. So if we just get the red footage now, side by side, equally for some reason this red footage has come in underexposed more since this latest update of After Effects. So if it was brighter, that probably would have looked even better. But you can see that just a nice sharp line versus the blocky nature of a codec. If you're doing a background and you have a shallow depth of field because you kind of wanted the ears to maybe be out of focus, you've probably got more chance of doing that on a RAW camera than you have with a codec, just because the blocks won't know where to go when you're keying into them. So hopefully you found it useful, and catch you on the next one.